Hello, all the cool orcs and goblins. This is Hugh the Lizard bringing you your week one recap, and I'm joined here by Innovation.
Hey, dudes.
Yeah, so bit of bad news for some of you. We weren't able to completely sort out the technical issues that we were having, so we will have clips for some of you, but we won't have clips for all of you. We will talk about all the games. But in this video, we may not have we won't have clips for everyone. We may some point in the next few days, if we figure it out, do a special edition where we just show the clips and talk about them. But that will depend on how long it takes us to figure it out. So I won't promise that for sure.
Yeah, sorry, that's my bad.
Well, we don't know if it's your bad or just something weird about your computer.
I might just re-download the software for it, to be honest, and just start over.
Yeah,
See if it's something I messed up.
yeah, that's not a terrible idea, actually. It's probably worth trying. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what you would have done. Anyway, people aren't that interested in this. Okay, so just to give an idea of kind of my thinking behind the clips I did, just from the top, I tried to get clips that weren't necessarily like the funny thing that happens, or someone player died or got casualty. I tried to get the clips that kind of showed you the rhythm of the game, like the sort of the big plays rather than the small moments that are often the fun moments. Just with the attitude that this is taking place, like the place of you guys watching the game. So if you say, "Hey, why isn't the fact that my player is dead showing up in the clip?" or the double skulls with your Crocs as your first move in the turn showing up in the clips. It's
Oh,
just it's just because like I'm trying to keep them somewhere between the range of 3 to 5 minutes, and there's just a lot that happens in the Blood Bowl game, and we've had a lot of really fun games this week actually.
yeah, that's an understatement. The games this week were pretty interesting. I enjoyed watching them.
Yeah, so thanks guys for keeping us entertained. We can start. I think the first game on the list is the one you did, Rex Lupus versus Children of Dune.
Right, we
Okay.
have I've got a rundown of what happened in my notes, so I apologize that you haven't got any clips, but I do have like relatively decent notes. Um, so Necro versus the Skaven. Um, Necro, quite a lot of blodge in the Necro. No tackle on the Skaven, so it's an interesting matchup. Um, I can't remember if he had the wizard or not. I think yeah, he had the wizard. I will make a future note about noting what inducements you have. Um, turns 1 to 4. Necro had the ball secure and had gotten 3 removals while keeping the ball safe for the most part. Rats had originally gone to pressure with the gutter, but 1 in 36 to dodge, unfortunately. That left him being fouled multiple times. That was one of the blodge two heads pieces. So for most of the first half, he was just on the floor, getting fouled by zombies, and yeah, that was unfortunate. The rats did a good job of sniping the claw mighty blow vermin. The necro had done a good job of keeping his team as a unit and moving forward and not being too spread out, and really keeping it compact. Um, the Necro turn 4, they got a little lax with the ball security and a bit greedy when they went for a foul on the Blodge 2 head scutter again, with a zombie crucial to the screen. And it opened up a path to the ball carrier for the Rats to capitalize on it, and they got a ball sack by committing one of the gutters, the two head gutters, the other one, and the vermin, the Miley Blow vermin, I think, and it sacked the ghoul. Um, no, it's the piling on one. Sorry. And he sacked the ghoul, and I wondered whether he was going to follow in to pile on because that piece has no regen. So I wondered quite how that would go. But yeah, he sacked the ball. And then unfortunately, he left a lot of hits for the Necro in return by going quite aggressive and basing quite a lot, but adding quite a lot of pressure. And yeah, it got a bit rough. Turn 5, his wizard failed for the rats, and half dice sack and punt. Opened up tackle mighty blow hit on his gutter though, which was unfortunate. Overall, good pressure from the rats, and were unfortunate in some cases. The Necro had a few rocky moments, and I felt the whites and the golems got slightly split from the main action, but was balanced. But was a balanced first half from them. So the Necro ended up scoring. I think he made a dodge, and then he got away from the rats, and the rats kind of had to give up the drive. And so it went turn eight score for the Necro, exactly how they planned it. Solid 8-turn drive where he got sacked a few times.
Yeah, hard not to be with a team like that Skaven team. You basically you have to plan to be sacked, but set up well for the recovery.
Yeah, he set up well, but yeah, in some respects he got a little lucky to get the score. It involved a white dodge or two and some other stuff. But then this was actually all in the clips, which is why I kind of didn't keep. Yeah, I didn't take the notes of it because there's some of the clips that would explain a lot more than what I was going to write down. The rats actually pulled off a really nice one turn. They have got that movement 10, obviously, so one push was all that was needed. But he done an excellent job of pushing down the line, opening up, got multiple pushes all the way down the right hand side for him. And then he got the handoff, and I think he snaked one of the GFIs, and I thought, oh no, here we go. And then he made it on the reroll. So quite an interesting first half. It ended 1-1. So you go into the rat drive. The turn 10, the rat killer removes Mighty Blow White. It regens, luckily. Same turn, rat dodge failure evens the removals. Turn 11, the white badly hurts the thrower, so there's 6 rats left at this point. Necro doing a good job of getting plenty of Mighty Blow hits in. They'll sacrifice some positioning to do it though. And then turn 13 to 16, Rat's trying to make a break for it, but the Necro were positioned to sack the ball and try to recover. The Necro failed a crucial wolf dodge, and were a bit unlucky. But where the rats had tried to make a break for it, the Necro had got really split. So you had their faster pieces down the field, the golems way off in the other half of the field, like half a field away, at least, like 6-7 squares away, at least. And the Necro couldn't get the recovery, unfortunately. And the rats recovered, screened it off, fouled the goal off the pitch for the KO and got the 2-1 in the end.
Yes, typical Skaven. We just need 3 or 4 players on the field, and we'll still win this game. I just turned to the Rebel.net summary of the game. I see that the Necro got 52 blocks.
Yeah, it was a lot of blocks.
And 20 that translated to 24 armor breaks, but those 24 armor breaks only led to 9 KO, 9 removals, but still, I feel like
it was well, when I was watching through it, there was no horrible perms or anything that I could remember off the top of my head, but it was mostly KOs. The second half, the Necro were just really piled on those mighty blow hits, but I felt like they got a little bit greedy, and what you needed to do was just remember how quick the rats are. Like a potato for the rats was it's usually quite good for them sometimes, and what he needed to do was just keep his wolves like able to
like he needed the safety.
Yeah, one to sweep up maybe, but he did make a really great break for it, and he was really unfortunate when he went for the ball the second time. His wolf has a built-in reroll on the dodge, and it just failed it. So it went in 9 the dodge and stunned itself, which allowed the rats to get the stall off for the second score in the second half.
Yeah. So let's just take a look at how teams, who was hurt, who's leveling up. Rex Lupus, nothing really to talk about there. There's no one leveling. The MVP landed on the Dirty Player Zombie, which is unfortunate, but nothing really to talk about there. Children of Doom.
Total 19 total SPP for the Rex Lupus Necro.
Yeah, it looks like it was spread out pretty nicely. So
it was indeed.
Yeah, so even though they didn't get any levels, it was a good game to sort of move towards getting levels on some of these guys, especially on if you can get that strength up werewolf up another level, then that would be great. Children of Doom. You got the God Emperor Leto, the not so godlike anymore.
Well, he could be. He could be a godlike zombie. You don't know.
Oh, did he get zombified? I missed that.
Yeah, the Necro. I think.
Oh yeah, I see him on the team even. Yeah. Okay, so he lives on. That's hilarious.
It's the up part of being Necro or anything else that gets that.
Yeah, it's always like a fun if I was playing Necro, I would be very hesitant to fire those players just because it's a fun bit of team history.
I like the story.
Yeah, I had a Ceres in COL who got turned into a zombie, so I named his replacement the last guy was turned into a zombie, and then that player was turned into a zombie.
That's quite fun.
Yeah. So I named the replacement to that one. The last 2 guys remained as zombies, but he was killed, but not by a Necro or undead. So that was disappointing. So Liet Canes gets a level up. I'm assuming this is going to be sprint. Do you think there's something else it could be?
If I remember rightly, he rolled Agi.
Oh, so did he?
That's gonna be Agi 5. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's look.
Yeah.
See.
That's a disgusting rat team.
Oh,
If it's
yeah.
taking Agi.
Yeah, that is.
That
Yeah,
got an awful lot
basically,
worse quickly, didn't
yeah.
it?
Like, 2 more levels, and that will be an unstoppable one-turner.
Most definitely. Fun piece.
Yeah.
He's got a lot going for him, hasn't he? He's oh yeah, that's right. The mighty blow of storm vermin died. That
Yeah.
was the one who died.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten. Sorry. I had clipped it as well.
Yeah, hey, we talked about it. There's an MNG on the dirty
Oh,
player, which
MGT.
is
Yeah.
okay. You can live with that. Okay, let's move to the next team. Let me just check who it is. Oh, yes, this is one I have clips for. So let's get this up and running. Actually, hang on. We didn't discuss how you get to see it, but okay. This is the Flaming Zones versus the Big Dippers. So this is one of those games that really was dominated by a mistake that I feel like was made at the top of the turn 1, where you see he moved this Crocs up, he moved the Skink up, and then he's going to move the Saurus up. So he's going to have these 3 players very aggressively moved forward, which means that when he goes to pick the ball, and of course he fails to pick up the ball, a third of his team is really badly out of position, and it puts him into a very difficult spot. That kind of like set the tone for the game. The orcs and lizards fought over the ball, and then we get to this very interesting play. The block skink knocks over the tackle blitzer, and this Saurus is freed up by this block, and you think, okay, he's going to get something going here. What's he going to do? Picks it up with the loner skink, runs over to the Saurus, and tries to hand it off to the Saurus, which I thought was a really interesting decision. I guess his plan was he was going to run away with it, but even if the Saurus had run away with it, the orcs would have been able to catch him. So I'm interested to hear what his thinking behind that was. This is also, I thought, an interesting play. You have the Agi 4 orc freed up by a blitz from the Blork. He picks up the ball. He can move back and be safe, but why be safe when you can be bold? He passes the ball down the field, and the orc blitzer runs away with it. And that's basically going to be a touchdown. That they end up leaving 2 turns for the lizards to try equalize. They don't manage to do it, but they do manage to. Hang on, this is going too fast. Can I stop this? Nope, apparently I can't stop this. Yeah, so there's a handoff that gets the orc down the field. The lizards were actually came. I think they were skink cleared. I think they lost all the skinks on the field, which makes it really difficult for lizard men to actually do anything. So after the orcs got their second score, because when the ball ran down the field, the Saurus were all tied down. The skink tried a red die, but it didn't work. So the orcs scored pretty easily. Lizardmen were left with no skinks on the field, and the orcs actually almost won this 3-0 if it wasn't for the fact that they rolled a double skull at the end. It would have been 3-0, or it probably would have been 3-0.
Oh,
yeah, which is
rough.
which is a really rough game. Some honorable mentions that didn't make it into the clip. I mentioned earlier the Crocs double skull at the beginning of turn 12. That that really is painful. I think he burned a reroll on it too. Um, yeah, he fouled to clear the pitch of Skinks, and in frustration more than anything, I think the Big Dippers threw a fireball just in the midst of a bunch of orcs, just hoping to kill one, and let them know that vengeance was theirs, but they only managed a single KO. And I think one more armor break.
I've seen quite a lot of lizard teams in Rebel suffer quite a bit this week. So maybe next week is Lizard Week. Who knows? But it does sound like a really rough roll of the dice there for the Lizard team.
Maybe I'm sucking in all the good lizard luck because I'm 2
You
for 0
absorbed it
so
all.
far, which means that if nothing, if I don't win a single game for the rest of the season, I am tying my win record from last year. So that makes me a little happy at least.
Hey, it's the small steps forward, right?
Yeah, I only get better from here. Okay, so I think the next one is also mine because this is the one that happened yesterday, and I think
Oh, this was a late one when I was trying to figure why it wouldn't do why it wouldn't let me send you clips.
yeah. So
Oh, this is the brats.
yeah, this is the Bretts versus High Elves.
Ah,
Let me just get the clip up. So I can actually share my screen with you so you can see the clips. That might,
yeah, that might work.
yeah. Okay. So pull up the clip. Playing good old Orleans. Yeah, so this was classic elves spend the whole first half or first quarter of the game passing the ball to each other, playing catch, and then they pass the ball down the field, blitz through the peasants, and score pretty easily. Um, Hard to stop elves when they decide they want to score. They can usually just score. Um, so the next actually, hang on, I want to set this up. There we go. I figured out how to stop. Um, the When it became the Brett's drive, they moved down the field, took a couple of sacks, but basically managed to get halfway up and then kind of got bogged down with all the pressure. And it looked like they weren't going to be able to score because they'd had to dodge through a couple attacker zones to get to the end zone. So I was like, okay, well, I guess that's it for this drive. But I love these kind of plays that I don't see and someone else sees and just works so great.
Oh, the chain push.
Yeah, I love chain pushes. I'm a big sucker for people who pull off
Yeah.
chain pushes.
Oh, I like it. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, even when it's against me, I'm just like, oh, I hope this works because it just kind of looks cool.
It's like a big puzzle, isn't it?
Yeah, in a way, it, like elevates the game. As pretentious as that sounds.
Definitely.
Yes, this the silly video game where we have orcs and elves try to kill each other. But it's really fun. It makes it, like you said, it's more of a puzzle. The next clip I'm going to show from this game is kind of a more drawn out one. I've sliced it up so that it will be like watching the whole game, but it was just sort of around turn 10, things got a little crazy, and there was the ball was on the floor, then one team got it, and the ball was on the floor again. So it's kind of fun to see it all play out. We have the blitz on the Brett ball player. Gets him down with I think it was a stun. And the High Elves manage to retrieve the ball with this reroll. Count the rerolls. That's going to be very important later.
No.
And they manage to pick up the ball because elves are just wonderful agi forward creatures. But lightning comes out.
I'm disappointed it's not.
And Brits have the ball again. But not for long.
Oh dear.
It just becomes a big scrum. Everyone's in the middle of it. There's like no way to protect the ball. Elves are developing a bit of a screen. They're going to get the ball and be able to pass it down. Nope. Reroll.
Oh, no.
And it's a snake.
Oh no.
A pretty good scatter. But they do manage to put enough pressure. The elves need to use a reroll to get an attempt at the ball. And nope.
He gets the one.
Yeah. So the ball is now on break tackle in the Brett's hands. But the elves kind of help out. Yeah, there goes another reroll.
Oh my god.
Stop
rolling snakes.
Yeah. They actually get the ball off for diving tackle, which allows the Bretts to kind of finally get hold of the ball and make it safe, and ultimately they run down the field. But there is one turn left, and there's a chance for a one-turn touchdown. You get a quick snap, so that's a really great start for the High Elves.
Oh, the Brett's back line. No.
They have a movement 8, so they can pretty easily do this. Fen is a bit of an issue, but he does this great. Like, again, I just love push plays, and this is going to develop into a double push play, which is just so nice to see. I just like it.
Yeah, it's kind of well thought out.
Yeah, in a way, it's like kind of pretty. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, that's just nice.
Against Fend as well.
Yeah.
I think he's only gone for.
Sidestep's a great skill. Run down the field, just have to do a bunch of 3+s. You have dodge. Oh, wait, no, actually, he has leap. So he leaps over, no problem, and fails the go for it.
No.
Yep. No. All those rerolls that he used up before. Not that I think he made bad uses of the rerolls, but it just kind of sucks.
That elf team's got a thing for snake. we can sympathize with that.
Yeah, we can. The wood elf in our clan, like, I think he snakes at least 4 times a game.
Minimum.
Yeah, at least. Yeah. So let's look at the Rebel page. Let me just pull it up.
I pulled up the game. The thing that stood out to me was the six successful dodges, 1 failure for the Brett.
Oh, we didn't. We didn't talk about levels. Sorry, the Flaming Zuns and the Big Dippers. We didn't talk about their levels and their casualties.
Oh no. Oh yeah, we did.
All right, let's finish with Jean d'Arc and BBC, and then we'll go back to them. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. This is definitely a very professional operation we have going. So what were you saying? Sorry.
Um, yeah, the thing that stuck out to me was the dodge rate of the Bretts. 85% dodge rate is pretty good.
Yeah, that's
not a single GFI failure in 7 is also pretty good.
Yeah, that I think that helps them out a lot in especially
No
when the
pickup
ball was going back
failures.
and forth to gain position.
Definitely. No pickup failures. Seems like a good week to be a Bert.
Yeah.
The Owls had it pretty a pretty horrible time of it.
It was pretty rough.
68% armor. That doesn't look good. The Dodgers are actually all right. Your GFIs are a bit under par. Your pickups are awful. Your passes are amazing. Yeah, not one failure. Built to pass.
Yeah, I think he
Catch.
did he only pass
Catches.
twice though? Oh no,
5
you know what?
passes.
There was only two passes that actually mattered. He did a lot of, like, as I said, playing catch, building up his SPP count at the back.
Yeah, he done a really good job of building up his SPP.
Yeah, because he did that, he managed to level up his thrower, his strength 4 thrower. So what would you give a strength 4 thrower?
Strength 5.
We'll be very disappointed if he doesn't have strength 5. MNG
Yeah,
on his
massively.
strength 4 catcher, who was taken out relatively early in the game. So that's good news for whoever's playing him next. And a level up on a dodge lineman. So let's see what he got.
What did they end up getting?
Block, which is fair enough.
Oh, he didn't get that strength 5. Oh,
No,
that's
he's
disappointing.
yeah.
No Agi up either.
No.
Double disappointed. The Skaven Nick Agi roll.
Yeah, you just retire this player, really. I mean,
yeah, terrible
what's one
with like
stat up?
strength 4,
Yeah.
Agi 4, strong arm, double for strong arm.
Yeah.
No, that's a crazy good player. Oof.
Yeah. And he got wrestle for the dodge lineman.
He's got a Roger. That's
Yeah. Yeah, so
good.
He can retire the one that's movement 4. I will say that our clanmate who plays elves defended the movement 4 lineman. So maybe we're wrong.
He
but
said it. He said it's good, but well, he said his words were, "It's not terrible." I think. And I was in movement 4 and went, no.
Yeah.
Apparently we were wrong about your rerolls as well. If you constantly roll that many snakes, you do need 4 rerolls.
Yeah, you know what? That's true. Yeah, I forgot that he had 4 rerolls. Yeah, he managed to burn through them, and you need the 5th reroll. So I hope you save up for that.
At the end of the season, we can probably do a little clip show of all your snakes.
Yeah.
If that match was anything to go by, it'd be pretty lengthy.
I was thinking what I might do. Might be too late because there was a death I think I didn't actually capture. But we can do clips of all the players who died with the song like "I Will Remember You."
We'll have to check if that gets copyrighted or not.
Well, I feel like I just put up on YouTube and don't. I think as long as you don't like you did get demonetized, but
I think you have to copy the licenses and stuff across. Or it's a copyright infringement. I don't know.
Well, worst case scenarios, they take it down, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so let's go back and talk about that game that the Flaming Zones versus the Big Dippers.
The one you skipped over because the poor lizard's got
Yeah,
Orc.
yeah. Um, MNG on the block Black Orc player who also leveled up thanks to an MVP. So that's a really nice MVP to get on your
Nice.
Black Orcs. We'll see in a moment what he got him. And yeah, the Skinks were all badly hurt, so they'll be back for next game. Sars being MNG kind of hurts. Maybe he'll have enough inducements that he can get Merc or Journeyman.
Was
But
this the small lizard team coming in as well?
yeah, he was already missing a skink, I think. And yeah, and then there was someone that there was like a bust on one of these stars that he fired. I forget what the bust was. So it was pretty beaten up to begin with, and still looks kind of beaten up with the MNG. But the MVP going to Asaurus that just one Kaz away from leveling up. You can I advise break tackle if you get him leveled up.
Getting the positives out of a pretty terrible week for the lizard spoiler.
Any development you get, like if he's thinking of this as a development season, getting that MVP on the Saurus, you can feel kind of good about. He got Kaz with the Crocs, who's now 2 casualties away from getting stand firm. So it's not terrible. Yeah, it could have been worse.
The lizards had 67% armor on 37 blocks taken.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty brutal week. Pretty brutal.
Yeah. I'm just trying to stay positive with the guy. I feel like he's gonna have a really rough season, so I'm gonna be as positive for him as I can. And the Black Orc block got guard as his next skill, which I didn't even ask what you would do because it seemed obvious, but it's obvious because it's pretty good.
Let me just check the Flaming Suns. I remember this. Yeah, we said if he had some more guard, it'd be awesome, and he was only a couple of points away on quite a few pieces. His throw is now 1 SPP away from the next level as well. So
yeah,
the team's looking really nice.
So if he can get the MVP to land on the right player again, he can theoretically level up his last level 2 Black Orc. He can level up his thrower, and he can level up the lineman, and maybe even the blitzer, who's 3 away. Maybe score on the blitzer, I guess.
You could do vanity pass on the thrower to the lineman, and then throw it back the next turn.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you could hand off to number 9 track the blitzer.
Oh yeah,
there's 3 points away from what I presume is either Molly Blow or guard. Probably, I don't know.
I would probably
that's kind of a dealer's choice.
But yeah.
But yeah,
I can see
looking good.
Yeah. Maybe guard because there's no troll, so you don't have that extra guy that could get guard.
Yeah, extra strength.
Yeah.
The lizards look totally and utterly bad. Yeah.
Yeah, the lizards are tough.
He's got enough cash to replace the Saurus. So.
Yeah. So who's next? Oh, geez, it's me again.
Oh, is it you again?
Because because John d'Arc, like that was originally going to be yours, but I figured I'd do it.
Oh, it was late, and I was trying to figure out.
Yeah, so just so that they could get clips. But yeah, so this
Yeah.
is still more talking for me. Pull it up. So we have the Barry Dome. We have Barry and the Lads versus the Face Planters. I went straight into it. So the Chaos had this sort of typical, moving up the like 6 turns, moving up to the line, dealing with some pressure from the High Elves, but making pretty good progress until towards the end, the High Elves really make their move and manage to do a little something with a leap. And that's both down, but he has wrestle. And the challenge is always, now you gotta get the ball. Well, he gets the ball and passes it out, but makes the pass. This gives us an opportunity for the proof of concept with having the goat thrower. As you see the Agi 4 Chaos Warrior run into the touchdown and then the thrower picks up and pretends they're elves for a moment there.
I watched that game as well.
Yeah,
I remember.
it was kind of fun seeing how this chaos team would work. So it seemed to be working pretty well, but there's going to be a bit of a drawback. The High Elves have 2 turns to score. They come on down from deep in the field, and they take out the thrower, so we no longer get that bit of fun. Such killjoys, these High Elves. And High Elves say, no, this is how it's actually done.
This is how you throw.
Yeah. And they tie up 1-1.
Wow.
So the start of the second half, the Minotaur managed to base up the ball thrower, but Tentacles are fake skill.
Oh, I know that well.
Yeah. Passes the ball down, and Ron doesn't quite have the movement to make it all the way down. They make a shield, but things are looking pretty good for the High Elves to be able to just stall it out. But hey, then you have such a thing as snakes into a casualty. Actually, that wasn't a snake. That was just a 1, but he had already used the reroll.
Ooh.
And then wrestle was a good skill. This is the section of the game that I like to entitle the wrestling match.
Literally.
Agi 4 Warrior picks it up. Come in for you get the wrestle is again a good skill.
You done a good job getting 2 die there.
Yeah, that took a bit of work, but it was definitely worth it. But then fails to capitalize on it with a failed GFI. So the Chaos managed to get the ball relatively easily, run down the field, and Russell's going to make one last attempt to make the game, and succeeds with another reroll. Leap over to try to go retrieve the ball, and he has it. Okay, things are not looking so bad for the High Elves. Minotaur comes in, tries to 3-die away the dodge, but doesn't get him.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't set the frenzy up to be 3 die into 3 die.
Yeah, well, it's okay because tents aren't a fake skill, and tents work.
Oh, I like when that happens.
Yeah, come in. This time, Wrestle works against him and brings him down. Bounces right into the hands of the Minotaur. The Minotaur, wild animal, the next turn, or actually it was that turn, but Lewis did do the smart thing and move a player down to scoring range. He rerolls the wild animal this turn and hands off for a 2-1 win.
I remember watching that live and it wild animal on the 2+. And I was like, oh no. And then he made the loner reroll. I know he's just like, oh,
Yeah,
Barry
that
nearly
was
let the team down.
a critical loner reroll. That would have been a tied game. So yeah, that was pretty exciting. It's always fun to see the ball go back and forth.
Yeah. That's extremely true.
Okay, looking at the teams, Chaos Team is going to be in relatively good shape next week. They just have a MNG on Beastmen with guard, which is unfortunate that he's going to miss that double, but not the end of the world. The core of the team is still pretty intact. The Agi 4 got the MVP, which is well deserved. Oh, wait, he has 2 Agi 4 warriors? How did I miss that?
Jeez. Yeah, he has 2 Agi 4. You got the mobile killer and the mobile fast one.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a fun Chaos team.
It's much more interesting than Kill Stack.
Yeah.
But missing that guard next week could be pretty critical. I have to have a look at his matchup to see what he's got.
Yeah, so on the face planters, no level ups, and a dead level 2 catcher, which hurts, but it's not hard to get a catcher up to level 2.
He's just elf things.
Yeah, if I do a end of year memorial, I don't know if I got a clip of that death. But I might have to look.
He might be forgotten.
Yes. Well, did 5. That's fair. Okay, I think I'm going to get a bit of a break because the next one should be you.
Yeah, it's the Humans versus Chicago Bullshot. So Humans Kislev, pretty even, pretty fun. Just I've got it written down in my notes that I was looking through both the LOSs, and my first thought when the Humans set up the LOS was they fully stacked the LOS, so they didn't have no coverage behind. Like a blitz could put a blitz deep kick is horrific, or a blitz short kick is horrific. Yeah, and if a blitz happens, you're in a lot of trouble. He had his guard catcher on the bench. I didn't know if that was if he just missed it maybe. But yeah, I spotted that one and I wondered whether that was tactical or whatever. But I was like, no, I think he's just completely and utterly forgot his guard catcher on the bench, which is I forgot to put 30 players on the pitch and all sorts. So I understand that one.
I think I forgot to put Saris on the bench once. We had an extra skink.
Yeah, I've done all kinds of stuff like that. is why I look out for it. The setup on the Kislev, uh, I noted that my first target on your team would be your guard catcher or your niggle tackle guard liner. Um, they were both easily hittable. I wondered whether you were just better off setting up a rule of five and protecting the two niggle, the niggle and the defensive guard piece. Um, yeah. Turns 1 through 3. Humans, really good job of exploiting the space offered to them by the Kislev. Team is starting to become a little split up there. Um, Turn 1, the Kislev actually had a sack attempt on the ball. So this was this game I ended up with 20 clips for, and I had to cut it down to get inside like 5 minutes. It was pretty tough because it was just sack after sack after sack. It was quite entertaining. Um, yeah.
Yeah,
So
Kislev games are always fun.
first turn got 2 die on the ball. Re-rolled it, got nothing again. So the humans got the ball, moved over to the left hand flank. Then the Kislev come in again, and they had another sack attempt on the ball. And I can't remember if it was 1 die or 2 die, but you had to re-roll the leap in. So your turn 2 and your 2 re-rolls down. So that's half your re-rolls gone and 6 turns left to play. Which I wondered about. Turn 1 you had little to no recovery as well, so I wasn't sure about using the re-roll without your recovery really there. But I appreciate the aggressiveness of it. Yeah. The other note I took from the first couple of turns was he went in for the Kislev went in for the sack first before really setting up more centrally so he could react to the humans going one side or the other, and he ended up overcommitting to the side the ball carrier was on a little bit, or and it left him a bit out of position for turns 2 and 3. Turn 4, they're both down to 1 reroll. So this is that kind of match. It's like it's a bit of back and forth. Maybe some like turn order stuff that you could both do. I don't know. I remember looking at your rerolls on turn 4, seeing one apiece, and being, "Oh, this could be like a critical failure or two." Either side is almost not rerollable if you lose the other reroll before that on a block or
Yeah,
anything really.
it, it, it gets dicey.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
This is the point where all the clips went in because I deleted some notes back. Anyway, the Kislev end up sacking the ball carrier, moving down the field. It involved a lot of dice at one point. And getting away from the humans a little bit. They set up a screen to block off. I'm not sure. It was block off about 2 players, the Kislev, that they needed to use a reroll on, because he used a blitz on a guard liner or something. I wasn't sure. And he come across into the middle of the pitch, but it was 1D blitz, and I think it was blockless as well. So I didn't really like that one, but I don't know what you were thinking of, why you needed that player where you did. So I think I would have left that one to save myself the reroll. But yeah, the Kislev stole the ball. Turn 5, turn 6. They ran down the field, got it set up on a sideline, but with sidestep. The humans come down. They use their Agi blitzer to blitz. But there was a 3+. I can't remember if he needed GFIs, but there was a 3+ from the humans tackle piece that where he could have come in on the blodge step who was carrying the ball. And yeah, I can't remember if the result would have helped him out, but I remember that being a distinct possibility. But instead, the humans come in with the Agi piece, went for a blitz on him, didn't get anything, went to dodge back out to try and make the leap harder, or to try and pin the Kislev into the so that they couldn't leap out and just run away with it, kind of thing. He ended up failing that dodge. Then the next turn, the Kislev get down the pitch a little bit more. The wizard fails. The Kislev blitz out and score. So like they blitz out needing a push or better, and then it was a 3+, I think. And then he scored. So the Kislev went 1-0 up on the human drive, but the Wiz failure was yeah,
I feel like
really
I've
bad.
seen like it was a lightning bolt.
Yeah,
I
the
feel like
lightning
I've seen
bolt.
a lot of that lately. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's just me, but I feel like about half of the lightning bolts I've seen in the last 2 months have been
yeah.
failures.
I've seen quite a few failures. The one thing I will say about the wizard was the wizard I thought could have been used the turn before because the Kislev were about on the halfway line. If the humans wizarded then, they had recovery with the thrower and could have possibly used thrown it or handed it off and scored themselves. But yeah, I understand the. I think it was turn 8. The humans actually used the wizard, and it failed on them. Um, then yeah, the Kislev just kind of broke away. The thing that I noticed quite a lot with both coaches is I think they're really tackle limited, and the Kislev, the humans especially, are quite tackle limited. I think they only had one tackle piece, and the tackle piece he kept on getting kind of tied up and unable to really take out those blodge step pieces, and he couldn't really react to the play, so he got kind of bogged down a little bit. Um, yeah, that was just something I noticed personally. But
Yeah,
so
one
halftime,
tackle is hard. You have to be really
you have to be really cautious with it, don't
yeah,
you?
like you gotta wait to commit it to one side of the field for
Yeah,
offense.
yeah. I played with one tackle piece in clan. Back when I was playing Camry. Um, what I used to do was just leave it back as my safety. But when you're on offense, you don't expect to quite get turned over like
Mm,
that. But he did kind of have a couple of turns to try and get him in a better position and stuff. But yeah, it didn't really happen. He got caught on the wrong end of the pitch, and yeah, I think he got a bit like got a bit kind of got his blinkers on a little bit with the Agi thrower blitz in the Agi lineman or human, well, the Agi human dude blitz instead of the tackle piece blitz on the blodger.
mm.
But down to one re-roll, turn 4 for both teams was really, really rough. Really rough. So halftime, the Wiz failure was really good for the Kislev. Diving tackle, blodge step, was doing loads of work. Uh, Humans have been a little bit unlucky, made some good use of the space offered, but maybe needed to keep the team together a little bit more. Keep the ball a bit more protected, caged, screened. Um, Kislev, um, you could be a bit more solid, just make some safe moves first, kind of thing. Um, when you're going in for a sack, I'm like 90% with you in always re-roll it or whatever. But if you don't have recovery, or I do question the re-roll if you don't have recovery, but if it's there to be sacked, I understand your mentality for it. It was really fun to watch. Um, but going into the second half, the turn 9, Kislev seemed committed to the early score. He looked really uncomfortable on offense. On defense, he looked really confident. He looked like he knew he had a plan. On offense, he seemed to kind of lose that a little bit, and he for multiple turns, the Kislev kind of had two players up the pitch, and he kind of isolated his catcher at the back a little bit, and then it involved getting him into a little bit of trouble later on in that half, and yeah, it was rough going, and you don't need to score quickly. Like, just keep your team together, play solidly, move down the pitch. Like, you don't need to play this high risk. Let's go for the pass, or I know you have like dive and catch, so inaccurate's kind of good for you and stuff like that, but yeah, just keep it more together, keep it more as a unit. You got really split up really early on, and I think if you avoided that, it could have been a lot easier on you. Um, but yeah, turn 9, they look like they wanna go for like a 2 or 3 turn score. Um, instead of turning it into a 5+ turn drive. If you
I guess the
if
idea
you
was you can lock down the win, although I don't know if that works so well against humans because they do have two movement 8 players that they
um
can score pretty fast.
I don't know what is I don't know why he was worried enough to try and be scoring so quickly, because the humans are only really as quick as you. Um, you've shown throughout the first half and that you make good use of your like blodgers and blodge step. You've kept his tackle tied down. Um, I'd have just I'd have slowed it down a little bit. I think maybe you maybe rushed it a little bit, and then you got caught in two minds, but the team looked really divided. So that was just an observation. Like, I'm not very good at Blood Bowl. You can do what you want, but that was just my little piece of advice. Um, so turn 9, humans like the early aggression. Feel you could have set up a tag with a diving tackle and a screen to the Kislev's left flank and isolated his ball carrier. So you could have got your diving tackle on his ball carrier. You could have screened it off. You could have made it really, really difficult for him. And I feel like you let him off. Like, you did pull some really, really nice aggression. But I think um, I think you could have isolated him a little bit, and really made it difficult for him, made him really feel the pressure, and force him into maybe some more mistakes there as the humans. Um, but turn 10, um, the Kislev go for the dodge and then the 4+ pass, I think it was, with and he committed the re-roll to it, but it fails and it falls straight on the floor next to him. So he's 3 or 4 squares off the line of scrummage. He's dropped the ball at his feet at the catcher. The humans all around him. It's looking pretty dire. But we skipped on a bit now. Turn 12, dive and tackle does the job again. Stops the Kislev from getting away. Gets the ball back on the floor. Turn 12, humans score on the Kislev drive. So has his nerves got to him a bit and maybe took the win off him here? Who knows? So 4 turns to grind a 2-1. Kislev have looked a little rocky on offense, is what I've got written in my notes. Last 4 turns, Kislev moved down the field really well, but were possibilities to steal the balls for the humans turn 14-ish. I think turn 16, the Kislev forgot and thought they had an extra turn. They did have I think it was a 3+3+ score.
Who would forget something like that? Like, who would forget how many turns were left in the game?
You pulled a me. Yeah, I think you had a 3+3+ or something like that. Anyway, you had a pretty good shot at getting the score and getting the 2-1 grind. But I think you forgot because you picked it up on Blitz who blitzed, and then he couldn't hand off to the other dude, or you were trying to do that. I'm not sure, but anyway, it ended up rather disappointingly with the Kislev like 4 squares out, but unable to get there in time, and it ended in a 1-1 draw, which was yeah.
Okay, just switch to the one. Switching to the Rebel.net. Yeah, not a lot of SPP on in this game.
Nope, 9 for the humans, 8 for the Kislev.
Yeah. So no level ups.
Fun fact:
no casualties.
The humans made 63 blocks for 7 KOs, no injuries.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
that hurts.
You feel for him a little bit. It cost him quite a bit of positioning wise and stuff like that. So yeah. That it goes to show if you rely on Kaz too heavily, it can bite you in the butt a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, this is the thing about these murder heavy teams. Like, this isn't a murder heavy team, but just in general, if you rely on that claw mighty blow to win the game for you, it's not going to do it every time.
Yeah, you got to remember to foul all 16 turns too.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm joking. Maybe don't commit so heavily to getting those TD blocks or whatever. You win the game by having the ball most of the time. Just protect your ball.
Yeah, I made that mistake with humans too, though, where I'm like, oh, I have this guard. If I put it here, I can do this block and that block, and then I'm like, oh wait, I've made my screen really weak here, and then I suffered for it. So I get making that mistake, but yeah, you should focus on the ball.
The only way you know stuff like this is if you already made the mistake. Me and Hugh have made this mistake a lot. So don't worry about it, but just sum it for you for next week. You'll get those blocks in, but try not to give them back and try not to commit too heavily to it. Always keep that ball protected as much as possible. Kislev, ultra aggressive, great to watch, but when you don't have a recovery, when you're going in for a sack, sometimes maybe you like, I'm going to try it, but I'm not going to commit a reroll to it, or just try and manage the rerolls a little bit better. I thought you both played really well, but yeah, it was just those lot of things. I'd try and bring it up just to help you out. So next week, maybe it comes to mind what we've mentioned here and helps you out with some.
All right, so moving on to the Bourbon Street Brawlers.
Oh, the fun one. Kanucki's going for as many scores as possible by judging by last season, I think.
The French Quarter, another New Orleans. So the it was sort of the first drive was a classic elf maneuver where they kind of suckered the Chorf team to running to one side and then flips the field and maneuvered around them, which made it pretty easy for them to pull off a straightforward handoff and then throw. Admittedly into a tackle zone, but it's still nerves of steel, so they just have to dodge out, but it's not that hard of a dodge to make. So pretty early on, yeah, like pretty standard Pro Elf stuff. That the riot means the Chorfs lose a turn. So even though the Pro Elf scored pretty early, it gets a little. The Chorfs don't have a lot of time to score. The Pro Elves come in to break up the cage, and they get a lucky hit.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, that's a tough hit to recover. Yeah, like Chorfs need their bowls. It's kind of what makes them work really well is having that bowl.
Losing the mobility really hurts. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they do manage to move up, but the Pro Elves were playing super aggressive, which I think worked well for them, even with the AV7. Especially with this guy who managed to get in here, and it didn't matter how many times you hit that blodge, sidestep, dive tackle, he's just going to stay on that ball.
Oh, I like this so much. He got those dice in the wrong order, didn't he? Needed that knockdown on the Chorf.
Yeah, that was his mistake. That was his mistake. If only he had known.
Oh, no. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. So that kind of made that was pretty much the drive. They kind of got really bogged down after that, but they did make a little bit more progress. But this is why you don't leave any opening to the Pro Elves, because they're take that red die. So they didn't get bogged down. That I was confusing it with another game I watched. They made pretty good progress, but they left an opening, got a little overconfident, I think. Picked up the ball, and I hate elves. Not as much as I hate Chorfs, but I still hate elves.
Hate them all equally, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's outrageous.
If it ain't lizard, it ain't right. That's what I always say.
What about if it's lizard boots?
So we got into the second half. Chorfs kind of just what? What's my notes? I'm kind of confused. I took really bad notes for this one, so let's just see what happens. I don't know what's happening. Oh yeah, there was just more pressure on the ball.
Oh no!
Yeah,
you must have failed to pick up or got blitz.
What is it? Yeah, and the tackle from down the field.
Oh, he had it on strength 5.
Yeah.
He
doesn't. He's not able to capitalize.
Wow, the Chorfs have.
You know what? I think
difficult game.
No, that's not what happened. Oh, you know what? I know what happened. The Pro Elves got a blitz, and then the Minotaur 1-9 a double, and then re-rolled into a double skull.
Oh.
So that's what happened there. I needed to turn the page for my notes to tell me what was going on. The
Was it first action? First action alone.
I don't remember if it was the first action, but it was early on enough that basically the Pro Elves got 2 free turns to put a lot of pressure on the ball, and that's what we kind of watched there, where they were just able to capitalize on that pressure and
I'm gonna
take it in
continue
for a
my campaign.
third roll.
I'm gonna continue my campaign of sack the miner.
Yeah, so tough game for the Chorfs. They were just basically elfed to death. And then a key removal with the bowl really made it tough. Pro Elves put on some great pressure, though. I gotta give them credit for that. They put the pressure on, got the openings, took the risk, which always feels kind of iffy marking things up when you're AV7, but they managed it and they got a really solid win, 3-0.
Yeah, I guess the reason why Canucky names is teams after whiskey is because that's what you need after you face that.
Yeah,
that didn't look fun.
Yeah, it's
Not
you
if
play
you're a
games like
Chorf
that and
anyway.
you start hating Blood Bowl a little because it's just I don't. I think the only thing that Abram really did wrong was leaving that opening for the red die because he was in a really solid position to make it 1-1. He was doing really well on that drive, even with the high amount of pressure, and couldn't get the diving tackle off. He just got a little like he went for the kills. He went for the ability to. I think he set up more to foul than to cage, and that was just taken advantage of.
It depends how he felt about the game at the time, but from what I've seen, he stacked that LOS and it probably cost him a third touchdown there. And come end of the season, that touchdown differential could be really critical. It could be the difference between you making postseason and not.
Yeah, but I can so he suffered from that because of the blitz and then the 1-9 into dub skulls. I think what he was trying to do was get the 1-2 instead of the 3-0.
Yeah. His second mistake was obviously having a monitor. We're just going to chuck that one out there.
Yeah. Well,
I'm joking, but yeah.
The Minotaur lost to him that. I'm not sure. The Minotaur, he did get a few surfs with the Minotaur, so it's not it did nothing with the game. But I mean, those surfs didn't win him the game, and the Minotaur probably cost him a touchdown. So I'd say on balance, it didn't really it's an expensive player.
Yeah.
Oh, it also the Minotaur also got a casualty. To be fair.
He did something.
Yeah. So he didn't do nothing. I just feel like he ended up hurting more than he helped.
He ended up more in that negative bracket than positive.
Yeah. So no skill ups or MNGs on the exploding skulls.
When you look through the statistics, the first thing that really sticks out to you is actually the 54 blocks for the Chorfs, 5 KOs, 2 injuries. But
yeah, this is kind of what I'm saying. The aggressiveness worked for the Pro Elves in this game, but it feels bad with AV7, and he was pretty lucky he wasn't punished more, but it did win him the game, that aggressiveness. So I guess I can't throw too much shade at it.
I think Kanuki's plan was score enough to win the game before everything implodes. I think that's the Pro Elf way.
Yeah.
before everything absolutely blows up in your face. Score as much as you can,
Yeah.
which is fair.
Which
The strength 5 super elf is an abomination.
yeah.
Uh,
He was KO'd
and
at one point, so he wasn't in the whole game. But yeah, I feel like he didn't do a lot this game, but that player has a lot of potential to do a fair bit.
yeah, you need to foul it more. Like as soon as it goes down for any reason, you boot it
Yeah,
right where it hurts as hard as
especially
possible.
especially with 87. By the way, if I say something like I don't think Brandy did a lot this game, and it turned out that he did a lot, feel free to correct me and call me an idiot if there's just stuff I forgot.
Uh, that goes for
Yeah,
both
as
of
I say, I
us.
took some for some reason I took really bad notes for that game. I don't. Maybe it was late at night. I was watching. So level ups on Grasshopper and Alexandra. So Grasshopper is a rookie catcher, and Alexandra is a rookie lineman. Given his team composition right now, what would you give that catcher?
What does a catcher come with?
I think you get agility and normal. Um,
The
so he
catcher
has.
comes with.
Oh, wait, it
If it
comes
didn't
with
come with
catch and nerves
block,
and
I might go
steel.
with block.
I think dodge.
You you either go dodge or block, don't you? It
Yeah,
depends a lot on what you need.
and then maybe just dodge on that. Either dodge or wrestle on the lineman. I feel like he has enough wrestle. So dodge is probably a little better. But, he takes wrestle. I'm not going to call him an idiot. And
Yeah.
he took dirty player on the lineman. That's spicy for a 80 value player.
Um. Yeah. Elves are weird to me. I haven't played a lot of elves anyway, but having a dirty player elf just seems really expensive. But yeah, I'm not sure I like it that much.
I I don't
Um.
really like it. He has bench, so it's not absolutely terrible, but you do end up.
On lineman at level, I think I'd be the first one you want kick. I think.
Yeah, which he
The
already
second
has.
one, you could go wrestle. You could go dodge. I don't know. Depends. Kind of what your division's made up of. Maybe whether you're developing it to win the division or whether you go in more long term.
I
Um.
I feel like I would like Dirty Player more on like a Dark Elf or High Elf team. When your entire team is AV7, you're going to be playing, except for I guess the Blitzers, you're going to be playing down players a lot, and fouling when you're down players is not the greatest thing in the world to do. So I just find it hard to imagine too many circumstances where he want to foul.
Um. Even if he loses a couple of players, his first couple of hundred in inducements is probably going to be Wizard, um, and maybe a Babel too, to try and keep those numbers up. And you're not going to be really looking to induce a bribe.
Yeah,
So the dirty player was a bit of a weird one, but prove
yeah,
me wrong. Go and foul loads of stuff.
like he's at like 18-20. Wants to take away the cash. So he's gonna not get inducements for most of his games, or when he does, it's not going to be a lot. But yeah, I agree. When he does get inducements, I feel like a bribe is just not what he wants to take. Um,
It's in your top 5. It's just not.
Yeah, I don't.
It'd be
I feel like if
I
you had three linemen or like three bench linemen, I still would be leery about the dirty player because just having that dodge means that you can sort of get out of dodge a lot easier. It
you
makes
can just get more use.
yeah, like it keeps that player there has like a decent ball carrier too. With dirty player, you don't want to give him the ball because you want him to use the dirty player. But if you don't give him the ball, then that's one less potential elf to carry the ball.
Um, for me, it's the classic anti-pylon move for an elf, I think. But
That might be it. That's a really good
e-
point. That might be what he's thinking. That
even even
even if
then,
he
I
never
just
fouls
wait.
with it, it's just there as a deterrent.
In my opinion, I just uh it's just not my game. Yeah, I just don't think I don't like it that much. But yeah, prove me wrong.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Um,
not much of a fouler to begin with. Not really the way I play. Um,
I have to remind myself to be foul.
yeah, that's the thing. The number of times I've gone a bribe and then not fouled once in the game is ridiculous. Because I know in theory the bribe is a really good idea under certain circumstances. I just, as I play, I forget to do it. My human team
Yeah.
has a dirty player now, and I feel like I'll never use it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
You have the last.
So we got Chorfs on Necro. So Chorfs again, Necro again. I got both Necro games this week, so that was interesting to be able to see them both play. Um, this was a really interesting game actually. Right, stacked LOS from the Chorfs, and we were, well, as you heard earlier, not a massive fan of stacked LOSs. Blitz, and you're in big trouble. And that's exactly what happened. The Necro got a blitz, turn 0, and the Chorfs looked to be in for a rough ride as the Necro kicked it short, making good use of the kick skill. Landed right on the right hand side touchline. Wow, about 2 squares in from the touchline for the Chorfs on the right hand side. The Necro came in, blitzed through that side, that right flank of the Chorfs. But they didn't manage to get the screen up, but they did put a wolf underneath the ball. So, turn 1, the Chorfs are in recovery mode. The Wolves caught the ball off of the kickoff. So, you're looking at it. You're gonna look to be getting your players across. You're looking to see how you get the ball down, and then how do you recover it? So turn 1, good recovery by the Chorfs. They blitz a doggy down. They get their, I think it was their sure hands piece with the plus movement, and they get him into like a screen. Um, and then for the Necro on their turn 1, they just went ultra base, like base everything, base as much as possible. Keep trying to keep that pressure on, but the Chorfs obviously mighty blow guard everywhere. It's not going to end well. And this is how it kind of went for most of the first half. Chorfs just punching the Necro, slowly grinding their way down the field. Term 3 through 5 in my notes, I've got Necro continue to get some pressure on the ball with a commitment to basing, but the Chorfs had just taken the might blow hits and slowly grind their way up the field. Yeah. Necro have taken 4 removals, but luckily they're all KOs. So, turn 6, Chorf first action with a loner on a 2D frenzy 2D. Yeah, not a massive fan of first action loner. Especially not on 2D.
Though it does always piss me off when other people do it and don't get punished for it.
Yeah, yeah, blocking with big guys, I'm not a fan of anyway. But first action, that's a big no-no. I just seen that and was just like, ugh.
Yeah. Even
Um,
when I have 3 dice with a block, I still do that action last.
yeah, I'm not a fan of big guys because I'm not. I don't want to commit the reroll to it. Which,
Yeah.
if it's your first action, you're kind of obliged, aren't you? Yeah,
Yeah.
unless you want to lose a turn. Yeah. Turn 6, Necro first action, 1 in 9 dodge into a possible 1 in 9 pickup. So they went risky after getting a sack, I believe, or something. I forgot. I haven't got it in my notes, so feel free to ping me and tell me exactly what happened because I forgot. But first action, 1 in 9 dodge into a possible 1 in 9 pickup. Turn 7, the Chorfs has swarmed the ball. Kazagul, looking rough for the Necro, with 6 remain. Necro first action, frenzy 1D into 1D without a reroll, results in a turnover. Guard White stays out and kicks zombie, but rest return for the Necro. So all that basing in the first half doesn't seem to have cost the Necro too much there. But that basing up can cost you game. If you base up smartly for a reason, I get that, but basing up constantly like that against that much mighty blow and guard and stuff, that's gonna you'll end up getting ground out a little bit, and it'll be a rough game for you. It'll make it a lot harder. But going into the second half, turn 9 through 12, Necro mostly safe, just trading blows with the Chorfs. They're trading like back and forth for the most part, but the Necro seem to be winning the punching battle. AV9 is keeping the Chorfs in the fight though, so the Chorfs have kind of given up quite a lot of hits. The Necro are figuring out how to knock down the line, and the Chorfs just keep getting back up, but AV9's holding. So AV9 is doing a job, but it's kind of the same critique that I gave to the Necro, isn't it? If you base, and somebody figures out how to knock down one, then the rest of your line probably is going to get knocked down. AV9 is good, but it's not impenetrable. So yeah.
Yeah. I had my Ceres died in the game I played earlier today. So, didn't even need my blow for it. So yeah, it's AV9 doesn't make your players invulnerable.
Yep. Turn 13, Necro score with a fairly dicey score, to be fair. Chorf set up a kind of screen down the left and tried to solidify that part of the pitch. Where on the kickoff. Turn 14, Necro moves some pieces over and tried to use a blitz with the fast wolf to start putting pressure on the Chorf carrier. And he rolls dub skulls. So that eats a reroll and it's into more sets of dub skulls. So yeah.
Oh, quad skulls.
Yeah, quad skulls.
Wow.
So the Chorfs are set up solid down that left hand side. They've set up a kind of screen. They've started to bully their way along that side. And then you roll the quad skulls, and it's only going to get worse, right?
Yeah.
They're Chorfs, they're just going to sit up and punch you. So, Chorfs Chorfs punching stuff, move up a little bit down that left hand side. They take some blocks before moving the ball, which I thought was a bit risky. I think I wouldn't have blocked the Blodge Step Wolf in case it opened a path. He took a 2D block against the Blodge Step Wolf. If he didn't knock that wolf down, the wolf could sidestep up and right from where you were looking from the Chorfs. And he had a clear shot down the Chorf left-hand channel then to have dice on the ball carrier. So yeah, it's a 3+ dodge into what 1D probably, or 1D half D. So there was a possibility. Chorse solidify in the middle, Necro pressure turn 16, but the Chorse make all the blocks they need to and tie it up 1-1. So that was an interesting game.
Yeah, definitely sounds like it. Let's check out the. Yeah, here it is.
There was
Go
there
ahead.
was 105 blocks in that game,
Yeah. Wow.
and only 3 cuts, and 5 KO between the two teams.
Yeah, that's the way I like to see Chorse roll. Though to be fair, there's no claw. There's the pro, the leader. Did the
Oh, it's
leader
the
come?
pro one.
Oh, it's the
The leader
leader.
one. Is
Did the leader
yeah.
come in critical? Did the leader win him the game?
I don't know. I try and forget it now. I just pretend it's claw and carry on. No, I'm joking. I can't remember it being that important, but I'd imagine somewhere along the line he needed to re-roll, but he hasn't got a roster.
Yeah. Well, um, I guess it saved him from giving up TV for the extra reroll, but yeah. So we have Agi busted zombie, which is, I'm sure he's crying himself to sleep about that.
Devastated,
Yeah.
unusable.
the MVP landing on the dirty player zombies is actually unfortunate. That's too bad. But I guess you give him Russell.
Last season I had a dirty player Rotter who sucked up an MVP or two and rolled plus strength.
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah. he stole 3 of my MVPs in a row, so I hope he doesn't roll anything good. I hope it's just wrestle.
Give him the strength 4. That's what you take on that dirty player zombie strength.
I
4.
took strength 4. It helped me win a game, so it did something.
Strength 4 is always something.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, he gave him block.
I don't like block. I really don't. I understand why
terrible.
you gave him block. Oh, but I want him to have wrestle, so he can wrestle somebody to the floor and just stand up and hit him in the head.
Yeah, wrestle I think is better. Block's not terrible. It's not like he gave the zombie leader or something like that. We will. I'm sorry. I'm not going to stop making fun of giving your Torf blocker leader. That's just such an easy target for jokes. But yeah, blocks okay. But I agree, Russell would have been better. Right. So that's all the games that were played. Let's look at the. Hang on, sorry. Trying to find it. Yeah, here it is. I screenshot the team standings in case a game was played earlier today. I'm not sure if one was. But yeah, this is basically where we're at. People who won last week are on top. Those who didn't are at the bottom. Doesn't really mean much. Having that 3 TD differential at the beginning is really good. Could come in handy if they go all the way with the Bourbon Street Brawlers, but not too much more to say. Do you have anything to say about the rankings?
Not really. Mostly start the season. Don't read too much into it. Until you hit about mid-season, the table starts to really take shape.
Yeah.
You can't really read too much into a table, and even then, even if you get to mid-season, you don't have a single win, single draw. You lost them all.
Oh,
You
actually,
can always you can always win next week.
Yeah, there was actually.
There's a game played.
Yeah. So spoilers for next week, but we're just gonna look at the games that are coming up.
Oh.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one to see what happened there.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the same? Yeah, so they've lost that differential. Or no, though. Sorry, they gained. They made it +7. So that's gonna. Yeah, if they're on the edge, that's gonna make a big difference. +7 this early on if they keep winning.
+7 is disgusting.
Yeah.
There's some interesting games already this week from the matchups that I know. You got the Kislev versus the Skaven. You got High Owls versus, I can't remember Exploding Skulls. I think it's Chorfs. Yeah, Chorfs. So that'll be another fun one. Probably not a fun one for Spoon. You got the BBC versus the Necro. And Lizards versus Chorfs.
But is that the leader Chorf? Yeah, that's the leader Chorf. So that shouldn't be
the leader Chorf.
Yeah, they don't have any claws, so it shouldn't be too bad for the Lizards.
Obviously, you've got the Necro versus the Pro Owls. The Orcs versus the Humans. And the Burts versus the Passing Chaos. The Alfie Chaos. So it should be. It looks a really great and fun week, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think this is a fun division, I'd say.
Do you want to make some predictions?
Just quickly. It's hard because I haven't actually seen everyone play. I don't think I watched as many of the games as you have. But I would have to give it to the Pro Elves versus the Necro. I actually think the Pro Elves are going to win 4-0.
How about that, huh?
Yeah,
I'll
lay money on it.
I believe in Joe Jesse. I believe in you, bro.
Yeah.
Don't let me down. I'll be severely disappointed.
If you don't win 4-0, I'm not recapping anymore. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, if the Necro don't win, I'll be severely disappointed.
Oh,
I'll be really upset.
Yeah. Well, that's tough. Well, I'll have to watch that game and see what happened. Okay, I think that's everything to cover. Only an hour and 45 minutes this time, so we're getting a little shorter. If anyone feels like we do go on for too long, let us know, and we'll make more. I feel like we should go on a little shorter, but we'll make more of an effort if we start hearing complaints that's too long. I think next week would be faster if we get clips because a lot of it was describing what we could have just seen.
Yeah, we don't have to do story time with Inno.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's rough for you and for me. Believe me, we prefer the clips.
Yeah. And the sad thing is you put the effort into getting the clips. It's not like you couldn't get the clips, so you just didn't. You did the work.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we'll just post if you can get them to work. Like, don't break yourself trying to do it, but if you can, maybe I'll just post them.
Yeah, I've just been life's just been really busy this week, unfortunately. So I didn't get to properly re-download the software and re-go through it, and because the clips are all ready to go, I've deleted all the clips that I wasn't going to use. So the only clips there are the ones that I'd already ordered, and they're all numbered and in line, so it's not that difficult to put them all together. It's just getting it sorted and getting it posted to Hugh.
Yeah.
Um,
If
so
I was actually I might be able to do it. But maybe I probably won't like put in the clips while you're talking. But I don't think I'm gonna do that. I just post this video. Okay.
yeah,
Well, thank you everyone for listening, for bearing with us for the last hour and 45 minutes. Everyone, good luck and have a good week at Blood Bowl.
good luck, everybody. Hope you all have a great week and enjoy your Blood Bowl games.